My name's Sophie Capron. I am an abstract painter. I've been at the bakery now for about 10 years. I've moved around about 3 times in the space, and I think now I've got a fantastic studio at the top of the building that overlooks the city. So I'm very lucky to be here. I started studying as a textile artist, and that was what my degree was in. And then from that, when I moved to Cornwall, I started using other mediums. I actually left as a textile artist as an installation artist. Because of obviously resources, time, what was available to me, I started painting and sketching, and actually I found a real passion for it and a real love for it. So I started painting and obviously developed my practice through there, and that's haven't looked back really. I love being an abstract artist, I love being an artist. I think the freedom to create what you want to create on whatever day that you can come in. I love my space, I love coming into my space and just being literally opening a pot of paint and seeing where it will go. I wouldn't say my work is planned. Yes, I'm influenced by things, but I don't look at a canvas and go, oh you know, bored, this is going to be this. It just sort of naturally progresses. So I think a lot of it is subconscious, which I think we very rarely do. I think I'm very privileged to sort of sit here and think I've no idea what's going to happen today, and it's just going to evolve, and I'm allowed to use my own ideas, my own developments to produce work that I love. So I feel very privileged in the freedom, I suppose, that I have as an artist. I'm hugely inspired by the environment I live in, which is in Cornwall. I love the open space, I love the cliffs, I love walking. I love the everyday marks that you see when you're out with the family or out with friends, and I love the history of where those marks have come from. So scrapes on the walls, children might have been playing and having a laugh one day, or an angry punch on a wall, or conversations that have happened, especially I suppose in the old bakery, because it's got so much historical context. That I just love the fact that, who could have been in this building when this happened, what conversations happened. I love rot, rust, decay, urban marks, anything that's been made on the man-made wall. I find new buildings quite ugly, so I love the fact that nature will encroach on it and put its mark on it, and as beautiful as the building looks, you'll always notice that tiny weeny bit of the natural environment taking over, so that's what I'm heavily inspired by. So all my materials come from donations, so a lot of people comment on why my paintings change colour so much, and it's because I don't know what I'm getting on a day-to-day basis. So I try and create as minimal waste as I can by using what people give me, and then I also try and record where those paints come from, so that each painting has its own history of who's donated it, where it's been, where it's painted, because I feel that whole journey into where people have that conversation of because you really do think about where you've what paint you buy for what room. So I think it's really important, obviously, when I paint them back onto these pieces, that it's recorded with a little bit of history. My favourite thing I've probably worked on is an exhibition that I had in France. I was very lucky to be invited by Vivienne Gillard to be included in an international festival in Lorient, an inter-Celtic festival, and basically I worked with a group of artists out there, had a huge space shared with James Eddy, and it was just lovely to work with a group of artists to produce a project that we all took out together into Lorient to set up together and those kinds of things, and that led on to a biennale that I was very lucky the year afterwards in France. And again, it was just great to be with so many talented artists. So to number one, be to exhibit in such a massive space, and then be invited again to share my work internationally was a real privilege. You can find my work on my website, which is www.sophiecapron.co.uk. I have an Instagram page, a Facebook page and a LinkedIn, variations of Sophie Capron and Sophie Capron Artist. And then obviously you can also find my work in the galleries that I exhibit in, Artwave West, Avalon, Bills and Rye, and obviously just drop us an email or DM.